Have you ever wanted to meet Lewis Hamilton, a Formula One 7-time world champion? Well, today I'm going to go through everything you need for you guys to have the best opportunity possible to meet Sir Lewis Hamilton. Roll the intro.
Yo, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
What's happening, guys? My name is Graham. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be talking about meeting Sir Lewis Hamilton. Now here's a backstory of my experience about meeting Hamilton. Now I've met Lewis Hamilton every year since 2014 up until 2024 at the Australian Grand Prix, and I've seen him overseas at places like, for example, Hungary. Now seeing Lewis Hamilton over the years, he's become more and more famous, probably the most famous driver in the paddock at the moment, and the most well-known and most wanted to meet driver in maybe Formula One history. Obviously, he's very famous and very hard to get to and very hard to secure a signature like this. These are my mini helmets. I do mini helmet videos, and today I'm going to be talking about stuff that you have to do in order to meet Lewis Hamilton, just if you want to get something signed or something along those lines. So, little backstory, like I said, I've been meeting Lewis Hamilton, collecting signatures since 2014. And back in 2014, all the way up until 2019, Lewis Hamilton was obviously hard to get because after a Formula One driver becomes a world champion, they do become a hard signature to get. But he wasn't impossible. Lewis does like going to big crowds where there are cameras and it's a well-organized like sort of area. For example, the Melbourne Walk in Australia. But there are little rules that you need to know before you guys think, oh, you're going to meet Lewis Hamilton there. Now, I've been lucky enough, like I said, to get Lewis Hamilton on multiple helmets. Here's another one, for example, the 2020 Lewis Hamilton. And and we'll talk about Lewis's signature very, very soon. But between, say, 2014 up until 2017, 2018, even 2019, Lewis was very possible to get. You had to be in the right place at the right time. He did have a little rule one year where he wasn't signing any photos. He said, I'm not signing photos. But he switched up the next year and actually signed photos. He's also got another rule when it comes to mini helmets, which I will talk about very soon. Obviously, I cover mini helmets on my channel, so we're going to be talking about these a lot if you guys want to get these signed by Hamilton himself and areas where you guys can get Hamilton to sign and things like that. Now, big no-nos. Hamilton will not sign an autograph on private property. I've had the chance to get this bad boy signed, and I tried to get it signed on private property. I'm not going to say where, but I'll put it this way. My brother was one-on-one with Lewis Hamilton before a Grand Prix, and Lewis pretty much said, no, I'm not signing that, or on private property. So Lewis is very like, no, I'm not doing that. Where someone like Charles Leclerc doesn't care, he'll sign whatever. So that's one thing. Also, Lewis probably won't sign when he's not with security. He doesn't feel safe and stuff like that. So that's one thing about Hamilton. Also, ever since 2020, after the pandemic, Lewis has become a very rare autograph to get. And in 2021, he didn't come to the Australian Grand Prix, but every year before that, I saw him. In 2020, there was no chance to get a Lewis Hamilton signature. He signed nothing. I know one guy that got a signature in Australia, and he sort of forced it. He had this Lewis Hamilton flag, put it into the car, and Lewis quickly signed it just so he can get rid of the flag. He was very, very heavily into that COVID situation. So that was a little bit backstory of 2020. And 2022, 2023, and 2024. Now, 2022 was probably the best year I saw Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis Hamilton, for example, in Australia, I'm going to use Australia as the biggest example, on the Melbourne Walk, he only comes mainly one time during the 4 days. Now, I know 2024, he did come a couple of times, but they did tell him like one time's enough, and he said, no, I'm going to go sign for the fans. But he does only rock up at least like minimum, or I feel like sometimes maximum one time now these days. So you got to be prepared. You don't know what day. One day he did the Sunday. This year in 2024, he did the Thursday and then came Friday. So you just don't know. You got to be prepared. I did not expect to see him on a Thursday. Lewis Hamilton hadn't signed on a Thursday since 2019. So I was like, okay. And then that's when I got this bad boy signed on a Thursday. Now, we'll talk about the signature itself very, very soon. There's obviously video proof that I've got this signed by Lewis. So, you know, if you guys want to check out that video, check it all out. All my helmets I got signed at the Australian Grand Prix after this one. So you know it's actually a Hamilton signature. So that's sort of like when you see him on, for example, the Melbourne Walk and stuff like that. He will skip a few people, and if you're not prepared, don't expect to get your things signed. Now, stuff Hamilton likes signing, stuff like caps. He likes signing stuff like posters, just generic stuff that you sort of can't sell, right? Now, he will sign photos, but it's very, very hard to get a photo signed. And when you got collector's cards like Topps cards, he will only sign one out of all of them, or maybe if you're lucky, two. Now, I was exception to the rule back in 2022. Now, I was able to get Lewis Hamilton to stop his car. He came out and signed multiple, maybe like 5 helmets. Obviously, I didn't hold 5, but I had my brothers and I had people with me, and we got them all signed. I got them double signed, as you guys can see, visor and the top. Now, Lewis will not double sign your things. Last time he double signed something was in 2015. I had 2016. I had the 2015 helmet. He signed the actual he signed the top of it, and then we went back because we could like get him a couple of times. And then he signed the visor, and he was reluctant to sign it. These days, he won't even look at you. And when it comes to mini helmets, guys, to get a perfect Lewis Hamilton signature is near impossible these days, unless you're one-on-one with Hamilton. To get one-on-one with Hamilton, it's extremely hard, unless you have a VIP paddock pass. People with paddock passes and stuff inside the paddock, very easy to get signatures. Very, very easy. I've never had the experience, but I can already tell if I'm getting them outside done, it's very easy in there. Someone give me a paddock pass, I'll prove you guys. And I'll show you guys how easy it is. But for example, the top, that's a very clean Hamilton autograph where the visor isn't as clean. Now, like I said, he'll only sign one spot. The only reason I've got the double signatures because in 2021 I signed all my helmets. I done visor switches because I had so many Lewis Hamilton helmets. I knew how hard he was to get. I switched visors. For example, I'd switch this visor with this visor, and I'd say, okay, try and get a double signature, for example, so we can, so I can just have the signature on the helmet. I don't care. Now, he will sign only in one spot. Now, that 2022 season when I met him was an exception to the rule, but these days he will not sign the visor in big crowds. He likes to sign the top, okay? Just so you guys know, he likes to sign the top, and the best example of this was this year in 2024. Now, here's the signature Hamilton did give me. Boom, there you go. It does not look like a Lewis Hamilton signature, but he did put pen to helmet. So for me, I don't really give a crap as long as it's in my collection. I look at it, I love it, and I just have memories. Now, that's the signature I cop. Now, when he's in big crowds, he'll give the little flick and he won't even look like his signature. He does something very, very quick because he's like, you know what? I think he has anxiety about, I guess, people selling his things online or something like that. They're very old school trained people like Alonso, Hamilton. The older drivers, Rubens Barrichello, have had the same situation with him, where the new drivers don't even give a crap, like Lando. And for example, Max doesn't care, but Max hardly signs now, and Charles, for example. But that's the signature I got, and he loves signing on the top. So guys, if you guys have mini helmets, to get the visor signed pretty hard unless you're one-on-one with him. If you're in a crowd, he will sign the top. So just offer him the top, he will sign the top. For example, I got this one here signed. He didn't sign the top, obviously, probably because of the colors, and he signed the visor. Unfortunately, we were in not like a rush, but in a little anxiety moment, so we did smudge the signature a bit. But like I said, I don't care. I have a massive Hamilton collection. I love every piece Hamilton signs for me. So yeah, that's one rule. He will sign the top. Another rule is normally he has his own pen, and I always say, guys, use uni paint pens. That's what uni paint looks like. I use silver. Now, in this situation, he didn't have a pen on him, but if he comes through a massive crowd to sign autographs, he will have a pen on him, and it's always a Sharpie. As you guys can see, he used a Sharpie there. I almost got him to use the uni paint pen on the Brazilian Grand Prix helmet, and then that's where we're going to get into another rule. But before we get into that, like I said, he will only use a Sharpie most of the time, so be prepared to get a Sharpie signature unless you're one-on-one or in the paddock or something like that. Now, another rule I will tell you guys, always have your pen ready. I was trying to get the Brazilian Grand Prix helmet signed. There's a video of it in that video I was talking about before, my 2024 Australian Grand Prix helmets that I got signed. My cousin, I said you could do the job, get the signature. He was in front of him, had the pen like this. The pen had the lid on it. He said, there's a lid on it, and he gave the pen back. He wasn't going to take the lid off. I know it doesn't sound normal. It's just the way Lewis Hamilton is. He will not take the lid off the pen. You got to give it to him like that so he can do a quick signature and get the hell out of there. He's very quick. He likes only signing when there's cameras in a big space, because that obviously shows, like, you know, he's with the fans, this and that. Now, he will spend time, like I said, with fans. For example, when he stopped the car in 2022, he came out of the car, signed a whole bunch of things. Then once started getting more and more crowded, he jumped in, said, thank you guys for the support, and left. And then when I met him in Hungary at the airport, he came out of the car. He actually came out of the airport. We all were waiting there till like 1 a.m. He came and signed everything. But here's another rule for you guys. Lewis Hamilton won't sign two things. A full-size helmet, like the one at the back, won't sign it. Don't even try. unless you're like full on one-on-one or know someone in Mercedes, you need to have like a little back door or something. And he won't sign the actual visor. So if I take this visor off just to bring it to him, he will not sign the visor, guys, at all. He thinks you're selling it. Now, my story in Hungary, I made the video about this, but go check it out with the stuff I got signed. Hamilton gave me 2 dots on the actual visor because I had to actually beg him and say, like, I'm not selling it. I'm from Australia. Like, I was in Hungary, and he pretended to sign it. So I couldn't fucking believe what I saw. Sorry for the swearing, but I was like, bro. Anyway, guys, put it through your heads. He will not sign visors, okay? If anyone tells you he signed just the visor, he's lying to you. And if anyone says they got a really clean Lewis Hamilton signature on it, just the visor, they're lying to you. That does not exist unless it's someone that works at Mercedes or someone that's connected to Lewis Hamilton. Otherwise, forget it. Now, like I said, to get a perfect Hamilton signature is very, very rare. These signatures always change. There's like that one, for example. There's that one there. And there's these 2 right here. I'm using these 3 helmets as examples so you guys can see the type of signatures Lewis Hamilton will give you. And these days, if there's like a 2024, 2023, or even 2022 helmet that's got a perfect signature, Lewis Hamilton signature, it's hard to believe it's real, to be honest with you guys. Unless you know the person, you know the backstory. I've seen a couple of them, but the only time you'll get that from Lewis Hamilton is if you're one-on-one with him, for example, in the paddock. And for people that are in the paddock and want a Hamilton signature, listen, I haven't experienced it, but what I will say, I'll give you a gem here. You need to be prepared with your helmet or thing that you want to get signed. Have the pen open and ready. And when he walks out of maybe the garage or something, you got to send it, okay? You need to send it. There's other little things you need to do. But let me get a VIP pass and show you guys how to do it or something before I talk too much. Because I have an idea of what to do, but I've never experienced the paddock section. So anyone from Formula 1 watching, a paddock pass in Australia just for one day would be very, very nice. Just to finish my Lewis Hamilton signature collection. Now, guys, that is pretty much everything you need to know about getting a Lewis Hamilton signature. If you guys have any questions, comment down below or message me on Instagram. Follow the Instagram. I've got 2 pages. I've got F1 with Grim, and I've got my own official Instagram page. Follow them both. It will mean a lot to me. We make F1 content, but that's Lewis Hamilton and how to meet Lewis Hamilton, things you need to know, and signatures you guys can possibly get when meeting Sir Lewis Hamilton. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in my next Formula 1 video. Thank you.